And hi, everybody. It is, in fact, yet another episode of Casino Companions. All right. So, welcome back. I'm Doc B. Got my coffee, got my casino shirt on. So, it's time to talk about being a casino companion. All right. So, in other words, being somebody who goes to casinos but doesn't really gamble. All right. So, presumably, you have a companion that you hang out with. All right. Who might be a spouse, might be a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Okay, brother, sister, whatever you got out there, but they love to go to casinos. So you go too. All right. So this is all about you and, how do you handle going to casinos? So if you have a question, want to talk to me, casino companions at gmail.com. Okay. Find me on Facebook as well. All right. And yeah, let's just chat. Um, and maybe sometime be really cool. Get a co-host on here. That'd be kind of fun. So if you think you might be a good co-host, just send me a note. Hey, we can talk. All right. So today, what I want to talk about, all right, a couple things. So the word of the day is comps. Okay. So COMPS, comps. All right. And I'm bringing this one up, guys, because it did. My own companion and I were chatting the other day, and of course, due to the recent crisis, we haven't been to casinos too much. Been a few times, but I hadn't been going too much. And it came up the other day, what do we do if we travel and go to a casino? All right, I think I mentioned this last episode. So, possibility of making a trip. All right, so you know, being the kind of people we are, the moment that kind of thought crosses our brain, it's not like it automatically happens, but we love to travel, we love to plan. So, it's you automatically start kicking into gear in terms of thinking about what you'd like to do and stuff like that. All right. So that's why I'm coming to this is that if you're one of those people, all right, so you're the person in the family who does some of the planning, maybe all of the planning. All right, cool. Um, and that may be because you're as the non-gambler in the group, or you may be the one that's primarily responsible for the kids or whatever. But you may end up with some of the planning that you have to do. So that's where comps come into play. All right. So normally, like if we're going to go to Disney World or something, then you know planning is kind of a mutual thing. Okay. Um, and it is something that we both do. All right. Um, and Uh, certainly, I can spend hours sitting down there going through different hotels and, car rentals and planning activities and schedules and stuff like that. All right. Now, here's where it gets a little different if you're a casino companion and the goal is to go to a casino. Well, the big difference usually comes down to comps, right? So, comps are, I'm not even sure what they really originally stood for. Compensation, I guess. Um, but this is essentially a advertising gimmick that's being put out. It's not a gimmick, it's promotion. All right. It's a way for the casino to promote uh, trying to get gamblers like your companion to come back to their casino. So they offer basically discounts. This is kind of like going to the supermarket and they give you the coupons. All right. So you get a dollar off coupon for something. Are you more likely to go to the store to take care of getting that $1 coupon? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, kind of depends on how valuable that dollar coupon is to you and what it is for. Or if they offer you a free item, now that's it. That gets even closer to being what a comp is. So if you get free orange juice if you come in and spend X amount of dollars at the supermarket, all right, that actually is a comp, right there. You're getting comps. Even though you're a companion, you're not really a gambler. Hey, you're getting comps. All right, if you're a person that goes to the store and they offer you free stuff to go into the store, all right, that's a comp. Same thing with a casino. They're giving away free stuff in order to get you to come into the casino. Now, as a companion, you probably don't get these offers. Okay. I've been going for years and years, decades, and I think my entire time, if you want to be strictly true about it, I think I've had like one comp in all that time. All right. And even that one was really basically a senior citizen giveaway that I kind of snuck under the wire to grab. All right. So yeah, comps are really something which casinos are smart nowadays. They offer it pretty much only to their real gamblers, not to people like you and me who don't gamble very much, if at all. All right. So what are these like? Well, usually these come in a bunch of forms. They may come in email, they may come direct mailers. All right, if you are a typical gambling type household, chances are you are actually getting a lot of mail from various casinos, and you'll see lots of offers on that mail. All right, those are all comps. All right, so uh, they may very well offer you a free hotel room. Okay, which sounds very cool. All right, there may be restrictions on when you can do it, but they'll offer you a free hotel room. They might offer you dining credits, so basically money you can spend at that casino's restaurants. They may offer you free money, so free play. So it's basically money you have to gamble with it if you go into the casino, but it's basically free. They hand it to you when you come in, and stuff like that. Or maybe stuff like t-shirts. All right, again, I have tons of t-shirts that my companion earned. I didn't earn them, but uh, t-shirts and all kinds of bizarre stuff is given away. I've seen cast iron utensil stuff given away for going into the casino. All right, so all of those would be, in fact, comps. All right, good. Now, again, do comps really affect you as a companion? The answer is yes and no. You as a companion probably won't get them. All right, and we'll talk later about slot clubs and why you should probably join them, even though you're not going to gamble really much. But you're not going to get too many comps, if any, during your long career as a companion. All right, so just pretend they don't even exist, really, because you're not going to get any. If you do, it's going to be something which is pretty puny. Might be useful, but most likely puny, again, like that $1 off coupon. So why does it affect you then? Well, the answer is you're going as a companion, right? So you're going to the casino with your gambling person, companion. All right. So the way this works then is they get all these offers. Okay, that's again not a bad thing, right? That given at least somebody in the family is getting, or in your friendship circle is getting free stuff, that's good. Now, here's where it does affect you directly, is because if you're going to a gambling destination, say Vegas or Atlantic City or Tunica, Mississippi, or pretty much anywhere where there's a real casino, if you're going and you're intending to like make a vacation out of it or anything like that, then pretty much what's going to happen is that your companions' comps are going to control where you can go and what you're going to eat and what you're going to do. All right. Yes, you can break away from that, but basically, as we'll talk in a few moments, you're going to pay super high prices for a lot of things if you don't use these comps. So this means, you might be looking at all these great Vegas destinations, for example, thinking, wow, this would be great. We can stay, at the Bellagio, which is notoriously famous for being really cool and high class, or the Wynn Resorts, Encore, whatever. All right, here in Boston, for example, beautiful, beautiful casino hotel, has amazing rooms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, yeah, you can do that, but then your companion's going to say, yeah, but we'd have to actually pay for that. Whereas, look at this, I actually have a comp for, say, Circus, where we get free rooms, and you're going to be like, okay, all right. And so I bring that up, guys, because it does become a significant factor in vacation travel planning. And it's something that's a little out of your control. Basically, your choices may get more restricted based on what comps are available. All right. Now, hopefully your companion kind of keeps you informed as to what your options are, because quite likely they have multiple offers. All right. So hopefully they'll let you know what the offers are and what the restrictions are. And then it comes down to making a choice between, do you go to the Bellagio and maybe pay half price, which is still expensive, or do you go across the street and go to Circus for free, knowing full well that the rooms are not anywhere near as good and the restaurants aren't near as good as would be over at the Bellagio? All right. So it does become a planning factor. All right. So that's why I'm bringing that up, guys, is this does encourage communication with your companion. All right. Which is good. Communication is a wonderful thing. Have a good time talking to each other about it. That's good. But, also don't be surprised, if you start talking about a trip and then your companion has already planned it out and already arranged all the rooms, um, because they had all these comps, so they know exactly what they have available and what's going to be cheap. So you may be like told, well, this is where we're going. And we're going to Circus Circus because that's where it's cheap. Okay. So um, that's good. That's fine. But be aware of that comps. Okay. Um, Now, in the old days, comps were often paper based. Um, so you would, in fact, get mailers that were real paper, or you would get at the casino, they might literally hand your companion a piece of paper, which was essentially this free money or free offer for food or whatever. You see those in movies sometimes. The guy in the suit hands them a ticket, a piece of paper, which is basically a comp. That almost never happens anymore that way. Nowadays, pretty much all comps are electronic, so they're done either by email or they're automatically put onto their player's card that we'll talk about later. Uh, and there are still the paper ones that are mailed to people, but that's pretty much what's left of that system is that. Uh, so often nowadays it will be digital. So don't be surprised again if you don't see things coming through, because they may very well be getting all these offers in their email. So you may not even know what's available to you. All right. So lesson of the day, communicate. Communicate with your companion about what the heck you got going on, especially if you start talking about going on a trip anywhere. All right, cool. Now, moving forward, guys, Investing Circle, talk about casinos. The casino world is sort of a place that you could potentially make money, even though you don't gamble, just by investing. All right, so making some money that way. I want to bring up a topic today, which you hear this phrase all the time. I hear it all the time in the casino. If you're wandering around, the casino always wins. Okay, so I hear this one all the time, guys. Very often this will be from SWAT players on the way out the door after they basically lost all their money. The table players cursing as they leave the tables. I mean, yeah, gambling's a stressful thing, guys. But you will hear that phrase, the casino always wins, quite routinely. What does that mean? What does that mean for you? Well, what it does mean, and what the true part of the statement is that when the casinos offer these games for people to play for money, they do so knowing full well that the game is set up so it favors them. Okay. So essentially they have an edge. They know that if you play the game long enough, they will win. All right. And this is true of every game in the casino. Slot machines, table games. There's no game in there which favors the players. Okay, every single one of them favors the casino. Uh, Now, how much depends. All right, there are some games like trying to think real close here. I mean, some of the slot machines certainly, um, and definitely Keno is like notorious for this. There are some things where the casino is getting like a 20% edge. Okay, hopefully less than that, but they're getting a serious thing. So basically, every time you bet a dollar, on average, okay, you're getting back 80 cents. Okay, of course, on a real player, you don't get 80 cents back, but I mean, over time, that's basically what you're looking at. So you're basically paying at that 20% edge every time you play. All right, uh, and it's true across the board. All games are like this. Even games like the old games like blackjack routinely have a 1% or 2% uh, chance for the casino to come out ahead. Okay. Now, the casino actually wins because they do this over long periods of time. Now, where this is not true, is going to be, this comes down to statistics. Okay. And I've been playing with statistics my whole life, so I'm quite comfortable with it. But statistics really just say that, okay, a lot of people lose, but some people win. All right. The casino is not guaranteed to win. They're guaranteed to win on average over a long period of time. Okay. But they're not guaranteed to win if you're for the individual player. All right. And especially if they're not playing very long. So there is a good chance. Well, not a good chance, but there's a chance you're going to walk into a casino with, $100 and you're going to walk out with $10,000. It happens. It really does. More likely will be the case where you'll play with your $100 and you're going to leave with less than $100, maybe none of it. Okay. So essentially, what I want you to do when you're thinking about about investing in casino type stuff, is you regard the casinos as sort of like a bank. All right, because that's kind of what they are. They're a financial institution. They take money from a lot of people, they pull it together, and then they give some of the money out, not all of it, to selected people. All right. Now, in this case, the selection process is random. All right. So basically, they can't tell you who's going to win in advance, but they know they're going to take a bunch of money in and then they're going to pay a bunch of money out, but hopefully there's a difference there and that's their profit. Okay. And the system is set up. So this is the part where they always win. The system is set up so that it's supposed to give them a profit every time. Now, there have been cases where casinos do not always win. They lose money. You're like, how they do that? Well, if they get unlucky, okay, and a few big winners come through, all right, then yeah, the casino loses millions of dollars at a time. It's hard to make that up. Over time, they'll make that up. Yes. Over the short period, they can lose money. So the casino doesn't always win. All right. And it's not true for the individual. It's not even true financially. So from your perspective, from an investor standpoint, you don't just run out and buy a casino's company stock. They can be profitable because the game is set up so that they usually win. That is true, but it's not automatic. All right. And on top of that, even though they win, there's no guarantee. I mean, they still have to spend money to get that money, right? So they got to pay all the dealers and they got to pay, they literally have to keep the lights on. That's usually what people say after they lose all their money. It's like, oh, I help keep the lights on. It's true. All right. It's true that the casinos pay all the expenses. All right. And they have to pay for the building. They pay the rent for a lot of these modern casinos. So there's a lot of expenses that have to be paid. So it's not a guarantee that they're profitable. All right. And in fact, many casino companies, modern casino companies, are not profitable. They actually spend more money than they get in. All right. We'll talk later about, how to get around that or how to watch out for that. But don't just run out and buy every casino company you can find in terms of stocks. All right. Because no, some of them are well managed. Some of them actually conserve money. Some of them are very profitable, but a lot of them are not. Okay. And a lot of them, even though they have a lot of money coming in, actually take more money going out. Not always in the form of gambling winnings, but they lose a lot of money. Okay, so casino doesn't always win, guys. Even though you may hear that, and your own companion may say that. And when they do, just kind of smile and nod, as you should, because you're a companion. And just know in your heart that it's not always true. Okay, so last but not least today, what's that? So things you see around the casino. This is actually relevant to today because I want to mention this. I'm going to say coffee shop. All right. So coffee shop, would you like, well, I know what coffee shops are. Yeah, you do. This is sort of a thing though for casinos. Casinos in the old days, they all had a coffee shop. Nowadays, they're actually renamed. They're not often called that, but it's some kind of cafe slash coffee shop slash all day small dinerish type facility. These are things which casinos offer basically to feed people most of the day because most of these casinos are open 24 hours, right? So this is a restaurant they'll keep open all the time and serve breakfast, lunch, dinner, and any other snack in between. So I'll mention those because this is part of the game casinos play. You will see these facilities in pretty much every casino. They all either they have a food court nowadays or they still have a coffee shop of some form, or maybe both. But there's going to be some sort of facility where you can get food pretty much all the time and drinks. Here's the tricky part to it, guys. As a companion, okay, you're going to go into these places and it's kind of cool to think that, well, if we're hungry at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's this place downstairs that actually has food that looks okay. At least the menu looks okay. And it's cool. And then you go in there and there's like immediate sticker shock. like everything on the menu costs twice as much as it would in your hometown. Um, and you're like, what the heck? And then you get the food and it's usually of mediocre quality. And this is actually true actually of the food courts too, guys. I mean, your everyday whatever restaurant, Burger King, don't sue me guys for using your name, right? But it's true. There are some Burger Kings that are in casinos. But run through any kind of fast food place that's in a casino, you're going to go up to their counter and it's going to be boom, sticker shock. It's like going to the airport. All right. Very often they do not offer all the discounts and specials that are offered even nationally. They often don't offer those. Uh, and then, yeah, their prices in general will tend to be significantly higher, okay, than your average everyday takeout place, fast food joint, okay? And it's also true, of course, in the coffee shops. What's going on? Okay, what's going on? This is kind of the airport effect. Once you're in the casino knows you're probably not leaving. So they know you're not going to go wandering out into the streets in the middle of the night looking for stuff. All right. So you're probably going to use their restaurants. So indeed, you're a captive audience. Economics say what's going to happen to you. Indeed, they are going to charge you through the nose to get your basic hamburger or whatever. So prices will tend to be high regardless. But there's another reason, okay? Another deep, and I was going to say dark, but it's not really a dark thing. It's just, it is what it is. All right. So the other part that comes back to it, comps, okay? What happens here is that the casinos give away lots of these comps that are basically, here are $25 for food. And that sounds so cool. It's like, wow, we got $25. And then you go down to the food court and you realize that $25 is not going to feed too many people. Okay. So, really the pricing in casino eateries in general tends to be high, and it is largely due to the fact they know a bunch of people are coming in with basically what amounts to free money, right? So they try to make money off the people who do not have the free money. So they bump up the prices. Plus, it makes all these people with the free money think they're so cool because they're getting all these great offers, and then they find out they're really basically just take their offer and cut it in half to figure out what the actual real value is in terms of the actual food you're going to get. All right. So be aware of that, guys, and plan ahead. So don't be sticker shocked when you walk into, again, a Burger King in your local casino hoping to get a coffee. The prices will tend to be high. All right. Now, your companion may very well have a free comp for it, okay, which is cool. But I want to close on mentioning one small problem to that whole issue, and that is comps are attached to the person that got them. All right. So you, the companion, probably don't have a comp. Your companion does. Okay. So what that means is if you're wandering around the casino by yourself, which you very well would probably be doing, or you got the kids in tow, that's great. And you try to go feed yourself or the kids. And then you realize that not only do you have to pay these high prices, but you can't use those comps that your companion has. Why? Because they're not with you. They're all gambling somewhere. So if they're not there with you, then you can't use the comps they have. All right. And that's a problem, right? Because then basically you got to pay out of pocket for relatively expensive food. Okay. And then wait, or you have to call them out of wherever they are for gambling to basically sign the paper so you can use their comps. All right. So it is an inconvenience to say the least, guys. So be aware of that. Again, no sticker shock. Be careful out there. And yeah, it's all about communication, right? So I definitely encourage using your comps when you're out there. If you can, hey, it's free, kind of. You're paying for it indirectly, but definitely, guys, go out there, use it. I make a point of always trying to use up our comps just because it's what we do. We're cheap, as you already know from how the show is put together. So use your comps. Don't be too sticker shocked. All right. Yeah. And as usual, go out and enjoy. So, guys, been another great time together. Send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll talk again soon.